No way.
I'll be done with the 2020s. I'll be done.
Can I ask a serious question, please?
Out. Oh, no way.
Ox brought up the possibility
not
of trading
doing
the
that.
cat, and I'm not sure if we're about to try to move on or anything like that. But I just wanted to ask real quick. I posed the trade on the pod, and that got mixed reviews. I want to ask. I know Ron, this involves your team and your boys, so I definitely want to see what you think about this. All right, y'all know me. Y'all know me. I'm a trade cat guy. I've been saying trade cat for the longest.
You've been out since I met you. You've been out on him.
Literally. In last year. So, what if Minnesota picks up the phone? They dial that Portland area code, and they say 503. Listen, let me get Anthony, let me get Jeremy Grant, and let me get what y'all fill in that third role player, because there'll have to be a role player for the contracts. I want to say
I'll take Shaden.
Matisse Thybulle.
Matisse Thybulle.
You're not getting Shaden Sharp. There's
I'll
no way.
Sharp off your handle.
There's no way you're getting Shaden. There's no way.
Is that a bad trade? Yes or no?
Jeremy Grant, Anthony, and Matisse.
Let's say Thybulle.
So putting Cat with DeAndre Ayton.
Yes.
So you'd have Scoot, Shaden Sharp, Cat, and DeAndre Ayton would be like your core four. Mm-hmm. And whoever you draft this year with the 7th pick, right?
Something like that.
So who's in Minnesota? Who's on the basketball? Anthony Simons. What are we doing with him?
Six man. He's six man.
I'm about to say you either have him be 6 man.
Way.
He's just
right, Ron. I'm not trying.
No way, Anthony Simons. Go ahead.
You have two options. You have him as a 6 man, and he's easy buckets coming off the bench. You have that firepower to have somebody else, one of your guards, to sit down, or you start him with and you legit dedicate this offseason.
What's the rest of the lineup, Damo?
I mean, at that point, you could really mix match if you want to. You can go Grant, Grant, McDaniels, and then Rudy Gobert as your front court. For most nights, if you have a night where you gotta play big, Nas is still there. I'm not saying for now, but if you have if you have a night where you gotta play big, Nas can easily step in, fill in, and beat a power forward any given night. And now you have Grant coming off the bench as well. But I feel this is one of the times where we see a challenge with Anthony Edwards. This offseason is going to be, what we see in this playoffs, his decision-making, his passing, things like that. That's what he's going to have to work on this offseason, right? So we can get Ant, and I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying it has to be 1-for-1. But if he can become a secondary playmaker like a Devin Booker, on that level, secondary playmaker Devin Booker, would that be so bad? To have Simons in that backcourt to score, you have Ant back there as well. You have Mike Conley coming off the bench now.
I don't think it's all that. I don't think it's that bad for them, Damo. But what are you trying to do to Portland?
The Portland fan in the chat, the one and only Portland fan who watches the show, said he doesn't want Big Per in Portland.
I'm not mad at that.
I am.
I'm not 100% mad at that in Portland. I'm gonna say why, Chill. I'm gonna say why. You get an all-star over there. Get to sell some tickets. You get Scoot, another competent big. I'm not mad at that. Cat get to go over there and shoot all the threes he wants.
He gets to play the 4, which is what his original position is. He gets to play the 4. Sure.
I'm not too mad at that. And as much as y'all might not like it, y'all might call this the most overrated backcourt ever, and they're soft and they're the biggest underachievers ever.
Yep.
I'm not mad at Cat and DeAndre in the front court. You're
right. DeAndre dude got a bed now, Ron, so he could play basketball.
Hey, you get your backcourt of the future now. You kind of get Anthony Simons out the way, and it's like Scoot and Shaden Sharp. We're moving forward with you guys, so they get to develop as your backcourt going for the next.
Well, here's the difference. Well, here's the difference, Damo. We're not trying to build anything in Minnesota. We're there. So how does Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons make us better? How does that push us over the hump? That doesn't push us over the hump. That's number one. Number two, that's number one. Number two, I already have a lead guard that's perfect for what I don't need a lead guard to score the basketball who doesn't pass. I need a guy like Mike Conley. He's actually perfect for what we're doing. We just need to convert more offensively. To your point about Anthony Edwards being a better playmaker, I think I'm going to get that from him anyway. Whoever comes in here, whether Mike Conley comes back, I think he's going to improve next season as a secondary playmaker regardless. In fact, I've seen him do that over the course of this season, over the course of these playoffs, he's actually gotten better as a passer and gotten off the ball. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely more of a scorer. But to add Jeremy Grant, I also think that that's a problem for Jaden McDaniels. I don't want that on my unit because I think Jeremy Grant is more of a bucket getter. And I feel like with Naz Reid, I already have that. So adding these two dudes does not help my unit, especially pushing us over the hump. Now, I can appreciate the money. We can talk about that in a bit. But in terms of players, that doesn't help push us over the hump. No, I'm good. Thank you, though, Damo.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Thanks, Damo. I appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you later. No problem.
The defense that Grant can give you on an already great defensive team, you're also picking up Thibault to be another perimeter defender coming off the bench, and Grant can give you offense. The thing with McDaniels that makes him so crazy and so dangerous is not only the defense, but when he's scoring, he's an unbelievable player. I feel like you're getting a version of that with Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant has already proved to you yet again another season to be able to put the basketball in the basket. This is a guy coming off a year where he got another 20-point per game season, shooting 45 and 40 from the field and three. Like, that's a guy that can score the basketball for you and also play that Timberwolves defense that we are falling in love with this playoffs. Sure. That adds to that. Anthony Simons, again, they need buckets. I'm sorry. We talked about it before the playoffs. The thing people were worried about with this team was their ability to go and get buckets in the half court in whatever setting. I'm just thinking of a guy that can get buckets. If we're already going to get Ant being a better playmaker, then that's a plus. Ant can be a better playmaker. I'm not sold on the idea that you just need a guy to come in here and just pass the ball. You just need guys that be aware enough to pass the ball, and that can be anybody in any system if they actually buy in. So I feel like if Ant opens his horizon, he learns the game more, he'll start making better passes. So that would honestly justify bringing a guy like Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant there, in my opinion. If you're going to trade Cat, I don't know too many all-stars where it's just worth it to trade him and Cat, and you get a temporary role player that might not even play. Ox has said DeJounte Murray. It's going to be DeJounte Murray and other players, because I know you're not about to just say Cat for DeJounte straight up. So it's going to be Cat for DeJounte.
Maybe Bogey, one of their bigs.
Bogey, are we saying get rid of Clint Capella over there? So now if you bring in Capella, you got a Capella backup center, I guess. But it's going to be more than that. Right. But I'm just trying to get the most bang for my buck if I'm going to trade Cat. And that was the first trade I could think of where it still covers multiple bases for the Timberwolves. You can still sign you another point guard to come in and actually play make if you really need that. You can still draft you a guy that fits in that process timeline-wise with an Ant, because Ant is still young. So you get a guard that can be back there and also play make. There's still other moves you can make. I'm just thinking if you're going to get rid of Cat, that's just the first deal I could think of. And on the Portland side of things, you do that deal. You have Cat at your 4, Ayton at your 5. You freeing up more minutes for Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot. You still can move Malcolm Brogdon to get more assets or whatever you can get for that. And let's not act like this draft. If they walk away out of this draft with a Buzelis, if they walk away out of this draft because Ron Holland falls for whatever reason, if they walk out of this draft with any type of what people would deem a valuable perimeter two-way perimeter player or any perimeter player at all, and you fill that in to that new lineup, I mean, you have building blocks and guys to sell tickets and hopefully lets you be able to compete at a little bit of a higher level. I think it's a win-win trade.
Damo, I gotta touch on and chill. I understand I know exactly what you're saying with bringing in bucket getters and whatnot. But first, I gotta just start with Jeremy Grant. His dog compared to Cat's dog is night and day. Jeremy Grant is a dog. Okay, he'll come in at that 4 position. He's gonna play defense. He's more versatile as a defender. And I think he slots in very well next to Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert, and their defensive intensity would be crazy. On top of that, Damo brought in the fact that, Cat is a good floor spacer, but Jeremy Grant can space the floor pretty damn good too.
Not like Cat though, Ron. We're not doing that. No, not doing that.
Not like Cat, but he also provides other benefits that Cat doesn't provide on the offensive end too. Cutting, running the floor, things like that. He's a little faster. He's more agile. So I like Jeremy Grant. He obviously provides different things from Cat, but I think he can be good as well. But with Anthony Simons, though, I understand what you're saying with Mike Conley, but keep in mind Mike Conley damn near pushing 40. Chill. Anthony 36. Simons is 24. You get a younger guy in there. He also can space the floor.
I already have that. I already had that in Walker. I'm going to move him to the lead guard. That's what I'm going to do. I got
You
that
would
guy.
rather Nickeil Alexander-Walker over Anthony Simons?
He's already been in our system. Not only has he already been in our system, he knows what we run. He knows how we are defensively. The problem that I have with Damo, and I actually like a lot of what Damo is saying, my issue is that I've seen this trading offense for defense. I've seen this in Milwaukee, and it's bothering me. That's the issue that I'm having. The fact that I'm trading offense and I'm losing a lot. No, don't get me wrong. I know that not Jaden McDaniels, I'm sorry. I know that Grant will defend. I do know that, right? I don't know what Anthony Simons looks like as a defender. And this is
egregious. That's what you're saying. Egregious.
This is what I'm talking about, Mars. And I'm not interested in doing that, considering what we're trying to do, right? What we're trying to do is we're trying to win it. And our staple is defense. Mike Conley is a former all-league defender. Mike Conley is a heady lead guard, not just a distributor. He can get downhill. And on top of that, flip that around. He will get on the defensive end. I'm sorry.
So what if instead of Simons, it's Malcolm Brogdon?
I was about to say that because I seen it.
Well,
in the chat.
here's the
What
problem.
about Brogdon?
Here's the problem now. And now I'm glad you brought that up, Ron, because it sounds great. However, with the exception of Boston last year, we got Mr. Glass. So I don't know if I can depend on him. I don't know if he's going to be around for the whole time. So I on paper, it sounds fantastic. It sounds great. But I know that the staple of the Minnesota Timberwolves right now has been their defense. It's us guarding. And I don't want to trade what my most valuable asset is to get back a little bit of that, as opposed to keeping some of that and upgrading at different positions. And lastly, all right, I know how you feel about Cat. I do. I know how you feel about Cat. No, you got to play better, man. Play better. Demand that he play better. That's why the Miami Heat didn't trade Bam. Exactly why the Miami Heat didn't trade Bam. Get better. This ain't good enough. This is not good enough.
Next year will be 10 years, Shil.
Right. Absolutely. Just so you know, Hakeem Olajuwon took him 10 years to win the NBA championship. 10 years.
But we're not talking about winning a championship. We're talking about getting better and being consistent.
He's a 20 and 10 guy, Damo. He's a 20 and 10 guy.
Chill, 10 years.
This is the best, and this is the best he's played in the playoffs in his career.
And look, and I ain't gonna thank God it worked last night, because had he went out there and shot what he shot and they lost, we'll be talking about, and he collapses in the biggest moment. So we're still having the same conversation we've had about Cat the past couple times he's been in the playoffs. So all I'm saying is, as a Dolphin fan, I have sat in a division with Bill Belichick my whole life. One thing I've noticed, he will rather be a year or two too early than a year or two too late. Sure. This is the highest value Cat has had since him being a young player when people thought he was the face of the league. This is the best season he's played in this system, in this role, and the best he's looked as a Timberwolves, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. With how you already paid Naz Reid, you have Ant starting his extension next year, so you're going to be paying him big money. If I'm going to be and you're already paying Rudy Gobert the big money you're paying him. If I'm already locked in at that much money, I would much rather trade Cat and dispense some other assets in other places in his roster than try to depend on him in year 10 and not ask him to win. But yet again, I'm asking him to get better. Eventually, you gotta just say, hey, maybe you'll just be better somewhere else. I'm not gonna lie to you. And Bill Belichick got fired 30 years later. What are we talking about? And I think did he get fired or did he retire? It don't matter. I'm just saying
it was an amicable split. Whatever.
When it comes to that,
he got fired.
I'm over the conversation. I really am. I've been over it. Then I seen him have a great year, and I'm seeing how it's turning out in the end, where we're still having the same conversation, even in a good year. I'm over it.
Fair enough.
How about Cat the 5 in New Orleans, so Zion gets the floor space and big that they need?
What are we doing with Val? Okay, Mars.
Valanciunas a free agent. So.
He's right, and that's my issue. Okay, because I am not letting Valanciunas walk out the front door, Mars. I'm not doing that.
I don't think that's my choice. I think he's gone.
Oh my God.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. You're the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.